Sanji is finally getting Conqueror's Haki. I've been telling y'all that this is gonna happen. And now it's finally happening. Chapter 1187, this is where everything is happening at. This is where we get the hint. So, first of all though, I want to apologize for taking like a long time not recording content. I was busy with sorting like some personal stuff. But right now I just sorted my things out, like having like a schedule, because I'm also an artist. I have to make music, make beats and everything. So I have been busy, occupied with like a part-time job. Like there was a lot happening, but I'm back now, and I promise y'all every week I'll make sure that I'll upload 2 videos every week. So let's get into it. So 1187 starts, and the chapter is titled The Cause. On the cover art, we have Reiju disciplining some swans. The one that she's carrying though kind of looks like Sanji, which kind of gives it like that cherry on top, like a sprinkle that is saying like we're gonna have like some Sanji sauce in this chapter. So let's dive into it. So the chapter starts with Luffy punching Emu, bro. Like with no gear 5, just basic Luffy with Haki, and he knocks Emu like far away. Loki's like, oh, what the hell is this little nigga doing, bro? He knocked his ass far away, bro. But Emu, as he was falling, he was like, nah, bro, I ain't going down like this. He's bleeding though from his mouth, but he takes out like some fires and he shoots them at Loki and Luffy. Right before the fires reaches them, Loki's like, hey, my nigga, you surely like delivered like one hell of a punch, but you wouldn't have gotten that punch if it wasn't for me, bro. Like, in all honesty, Loki really put up some fight against Emu, bro, and Emu is powerful. Emu is no child's play, and Loki really stood his ground. And so Luffy's like, okay, look, bro, you can relax, bro. Like, I got this from now on. You get, like, this kind of reminds me of all the situations where Luffy has been like meeting with the Straw Hats, like all the members of the Straw Hats, like they have been fighting their own battles to a point where he was like, okay, I get it. You did your part. Let me help in. You get like all these like kind of gives me that Loki is still gonna join. I want Loki to join the Straw Hats, bro. Like everything up until right now, it just gives me that Loki is gonna join the Straw Hats. So Loki's like, hey, who do you think you're talking to? I still got some game in this. I love Loki. You understand? But now the fires kind of thingy that Emu sent, they start talking and they're like, okay, Emu said we should sit right above the belly where we stabbed him first time. You get? And then Loki's panicking. Emu starts locking in. Remember, the fires are both on Loki and Luffy. And Loki and Emu starts doing like devilish sign, bro. It says Sigma, and something like a sword stabs Loki right in the chest, bro. Right in the chest, bro. I'm like, bro, this nigga, oh my god. And Loki falls on top of the ice where he throws Ganko, who happens to be Princess Shuri. Bro, my nigga. So he falls right there. Remember, there's Usopp, Brook, Jinbei, and Frankie. So they see Loki fall on top of that ice. And this is where the crazy part happens. As Loki falls, he carries Ragni, right? Ragni also falls on top of the ice. And for some reason, the ice melts. So, like, everybody thought, like, this is required, like, a mess. Like, I don't even know. Like, does this mean that Ragnar is, like, that powerful? Like, is that strong that he could melt the ice just by falling on top of that? I'm like, oh, my God, this is something else right now. And Brook is like, Princess Shuri, if you, like, read the previous chapter, you know that it got dark real quick, bro, on the last chapter, especially for Brook. So now the ice is melting because they wanted the ice to melt. You get? So I wonder what Ganko or will she wake up as Ganko or will she wake up as Shuri this time? But we're also gonna have like a deep lore between Brooke and Shuri from here on out. Loki is down. Nami's like, hey bro, this nigga has a hole in his chest. That's where Emu stabbed him. You get? So we move back to Emu and Luffy. Now the fires are also on Luffy, but they are on a coat. Luffy's like, oh shit, he gonna do the same move again. He throwing that sign, bro. He throwing that sign again, bro. But Luffy tosses the jacket aside because that fire was on there. So Emu shoots the jacket. Luffy gets away, and Emu looks pissed as hell, like, what the hell? I'm gonna knock this nigga out. And then we go to a village with Summers meeting up with Zoro. My nigga, look, bro. Summers is saying, hey, bro, I'm just here to take like 10 or 20 kids. And Zoro is like, hey, bro, you messed up our reunion. I'm here for that get back. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm here to kick your ass, bro. And Summers is like, hey, bro, hey, remember I also got one of my associate somewhere. We living here. There's nothing you guys are gonna do. And Zoro is like, you know what's funny? One of my guys is also going to that village, bro. One of my guys is going back to that village. I'm not sure if you think your guy is gonna make it, bro. Because the guy who's going there, he's gonna make sure that he kills this guy. Bro, I've never heard Zoro talk like it happened, but it's not often where Zoro has that confidence in Sanji. And at this moment, he's not even clowning Sanji, but he's more like, bro, I promise you that guy is dead. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't expect this from Zoro, bro. But Summer starts attacking Zoro. We're gonna have that. That's them. That's that fight. We always like, we know that Zoro is gonna win, but it's how is he gonna win? So before they finish fighting, we go to Sanji's part. Okay, like, so first of all, you have to understand that Sanji is my favorite Straw Hat, right? I love Sanji, bro. Like, after Luffy, it's definitely Sanji, then Brook. So you gotta understand, bro. I'm hyped up about this. My nigga starts lighting his ciggy, and he says, okay, problem number one, a giant monster has kidnapped the kids. Problem number two, I cannot defeat this monster because it's a lady. And I'm like, okay, problem number three. What's problem number three? Because before we go to problem number three, though, we see Ripley crying, Colin apologizing. It's a very, very emotional moment. You understand? And like, it kind of gives us the build up. And then Sanji says, problem number three, for me to make sure I save the situation, I gotta deal with killing him. You understand? So killing him is like, oh, for real? You figured it out. If you kick me out, yeah, that monster is gonna disappear. And Sanji says, nigga, I know your weakness. Remember, killing him is acting cocky because he says, oh, you tough. But remember, there's a difference between tough and immortal. It's like you can be tough as you want, but if you cannot defeat me, an immortal, like if you cannot kill an immortal, then you're tough for nothing. And Sanji's like, bruh, I know your weakness, bruh. I know your weakness. Right now, I can take you out. And then killing him is like, oh, for real? You're saying you got that conqueror's haki? Because that's the only thing that can take me out, bro. That's the only thing that can take me out. And right, yeah, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Before we move forward, I'm like, wait. Does this mean that Sanji is awakening right in this chapter? Is Sanji awakening in this chapter or the next? So Killingham beats Sanji to the ground, and Sanji thinks, when Scupper Gaban said, hey, one of y'all has Conqueror's Haki. And he remembers saying that Gaban says, Luffy is an emperor. You niggas need to step up your game. You need to step up your game, bro. You gotta be kings if you wanna walk with an emperor. And he talks to Zoro saying like, hey, remember you have to like upgrade, my nigga. Stop playing. And Zoro says, my bad. And then Sanji asks Gaban, hey, you mean I don't have that? Like, I don't have that conquerors at all? And Scupper Gaban says, you have the potential of someone who can have it. But, there's a but, bro. You are hesitating, bro. You are hesitating. For you to have conquerors haki, you gotta be a king. And Sanji's like, oh, okay. Luffy wants to be the king of the pirates with all his heart. That means when you want to be a conqueror, you have to want it as bad as it gets. You have to want it as bad as, like, bro, you have to be at the level where no one can shut you down. And then one thing I feel like Sanji has to learn, first of all, is he has to stop saying that I cannot kick women. I have to, like, he has to understand that there has to be like a different level of a woman that he cannot kick and a woman he can kick. For me, I feel like that's one of the rules of his that he has to break. For example, right now, the Rain Goddess is a villain at this point. So he has to beat women like that. You understand? But he has to protect women who have been like victimized. So first things first, I think he's gonna have to kick the Rain Goddess. That's the first part. Because out of everything, we know that Sanji is a capable fighter. He can go against everybody. But one of his, I won't say it's a weakness, but it's something that I can say is holding him back, is him saying that he cannot kick women. So if he wants to have that conquerors, he has to kick that Rain Goddess. That's the first thing. You understand? But one thing I like is that he has realized that, oh, Luffy Luffy has conquerors haki because he fully believes that he's gonna be king of the pirates. He doesn't have doubt in his mind. You understand? So from here on out, my nigga, Sanji's getting that conquerors. I swear, bro, because Killingham is saying there's no other way you can defeat him without the conquerors. So Sanji has to have it. Zoro already put his money on Sanji. So Sanji is getting that conquerors. Period. But before the chapter ends, oh my god, Luffy's in gear 5. He's up against Imu. It is written, Nerona Imu versus Monkey D. Luffy. Imu says, oh, so you have shown yourself. And Luffy says, hey, bro, stop saying about, like, talking about stupid ass names, bro. My name is Monkey D. Luffy and I'm gonna be king of the pirates. Bro, this guy says this against everybody. He doesn't care. He says it against everyone. So the chapter ends with Luffy and Imu locked in. And Imu is looking like, okay, I'm gonna show you who's the boss in this. You get that? But I didn't expect that Luffy and Imu would meet. I didn't even expect that Luffy would land a punch. I didn't even expect that they were gonna fight. For me, I still don't want them to fight. Like, I feel like it's too soon. I just want Imu to vanish from here. You understand? Like, at this moment, I don't want them to fight yet. I feel like it's too soon, bro. It's too soon for me. You get? But my main point of the video was Sanji getting conquerors. Do y'all think that Sanji is gonna have conquerors, or he's gonna awaken some of his Gemma genes to beat Killingham?